We are constantly reminded of all the things we should be doing, all the habits we need to have, and routines we should be following. And deep down, I also know what I need to do to become a better version of myself. So, my question is, why don't I do the things I know I should be doing? Now, I don't have an answer really, but I do have a very strong feeling that romanticizing the journey of becoming that ideal version of me will help me finally stay consistent. So in today's video, let's go over how to fall in love with your ideal daily routine, especially when motivation fades. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is when you're watching this. The theme of this video is going to be all about romanticizing your daily routine or your ideal daily routine in such a way that you start falling in love with the process of doing all the things on your to-do list, and in that way kind of start living like your ideal self and making it enjoyable as well. So today I actually had kind of a slow start in the sense that I had what they would call a half-wasted day, in the sense that I woke up and I didn't really do anything until a few hours ago, and I really believed up until a few hours ago that my day was just gone and I had kind of messed up and I would have to start over again the next day, which makes no sense at all, because no matter at what time you decide to show up for yourself, that is your starting point. But I very often make myself believe that the day is wasted when I don't do anything productive in the morning. But I'm gonna change that mindset. Today is actually a Sunday, and right now it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm still going to make this a beautiful day. So first of all, I wanted to focus on my non-negotiables. If you have watched my previous video, you may know that I am setting for the month of August a set of non-negotiables that I'll follow every day in order for me to kind of glow up this summer. So here is the list that I have. Basically, it's starting the day with making dua for Palestine, and then also having my Fajr routine, which is prayer, dua, dhikr, and reading Quran. Now, I'm currently on my period, so I cannot really do the Fajr routine in the sense that I'm praying Fajr, but of course, I can still do the other things of making dua, dhikr, and reading Quran. And then I also just did my morning pages, which you saw, which is where I basically journal at the start of the day. It's not morning anymore, but I didn't let that stop me from doing this. So the things that are still on my list of non-negotiables for today are to do a workout or to do 10k steps, to take a moment to seek knowledge, to do my nightly recitations and my closing routine, which is basically kind of my nighttime routine. And I figured, because I do have a few groceries that I need to get done, I would try to combine my 10k steps with kind of a grocery haul. They don't like walking around and doing groceries in like supermarket bags because they're just very unaesthetic, and I don't like doing free promotions. So I got this like very neutral, like there's no supermarket logo on it and there are flowers on it. So I'll be using this as my grocery bag. I don't know why I'm so excited about this, but I do think that the hijab and the bag are not really matching right now. I know this is very silly, but I'm gonna change my hijab so that I can match with my bag, or at least not match with my bag. And then let's just go outside and do some groceries, but also get in my steps and get in my mindfulness as well. Something that I've realized is that if you want to fall in love with your ideal routine, you actually need to be present during that routine. I feel like appreciating the little things in life starts with actually being in the moment, and one of the best ways to pull yourself back into the here and now is by going on a walk. Because instead of continuously looking at your screen, when you go on a walk, your observations, they just go everywhere. They go from the children playing in the park to the different kinds of birds that you spot in the sky, and instead of being all in your head, either thinking about the past or the future, you are pulled back to this present moment. And there's just something so lovely about appreciating the little things that you see when you are going on a walk. And what I especially like is that when you publicly appreciate something that you see, in a way you are inviting others to see that same little piece of joy. For example, I was taking a picture of these flowers that I thought were very pretty, and I noticed the father said to his daughter, "Do you want to take a picture with those flowers too?" And the girl got all excited. And not even a minute later, an older woman approached me to just talk a little bit about how nice the park is looking lately. And these may seem like very simple interactions, and they kind of are, but I feel like if it wasn't for me taking that picture, maybe the flowers wouldn't have gotten seen as much as they did. So I think in a way, when you romanticize your life, romanticize the little things that you do, others could also get inspired to do the same thing. It's another day and I'm working in the office. And the truth is, even though I talk about living a soft life and romanticizing everything, it can be difficult to do that when you're running late for work, when your khimar got stuck in your bike, and when the pretty beige is now filled with black spots. I used to think living a soft life would mean always having everything as aesthetically pleasing as possible and doing everything slow and with intention. But I'm going to redefine what I think a soft life means, because realistically, most of us cannot live like that. Of course, I think we could all benefit from prioritizing well-being and relaxation, and minimal stress would be ideal. But I think you should still be able to live softly when this dunya is testing you left and right, or when your house is a mess, or your mind is a mess. I don't think a soft life should be a fantasy that is unattainable. The reality is that behind the cozy morning routine with an iced matcha or pretty looking breakfast is probably also the pile of dishes that need to be done, or the working day that you had the day before. One moment you're working, which allows you to have one moment of rest, which then again creates another moment for working. We shouldn't just romanticize the moment of rest, because all parts are equally important and all parts make what you would call your life. They say after rain comes sunshine, so yes, you might get rest after a day of work, but guess what? Too much sun and you'll be craving rain again. So after all, the sunshine wasn't the end goal, it was just part of the journey. For me right now, living softly means living with sabr and with gratitude. Sabr, the patience to do the task I may not feel like doing, but choosing to do them anyways and doing them well. And gratitude, whether the sun is shining or whether it's raining. So I have my morning cup of tea and I'm going to do my morning pages. I was hoping that the question from the tea bag would help me with like as a journaling prompt. However, the question was, what is a conversation you will always remember? And I immediately thought of one of the job interviews that I had a few months ago, and that just went so horribly, and I really don't want to journal about that because it's giving negative energy in the morning and I don't want that. So I'm just going to try to get that out of my head and journal about something else. The plan for today is very simple but also very ambitious. I really want to make today kind of like the perfect day, in the sense that I really try to do all the things that I want to do and make them as beautiful as I can. Now, one thing that helps is it's Friday today. I really feel like Fridays are the most perfect opportunity to romanticize your day, and I really feel like today is the perfect day to try to romanticize all parts of my ideal daily routine. So first I'll be journaling in this notebook, and afterwards I will continue in this notebook, which I have been using as my kind of ilm session notebook. So here's where I'll be writing down all the things I'm learning when I am doing my ilm sessions, so seeking knowledge. Yesterday I did tafsir of Surah Al-Fatiha. I really started at the beginning. I've read the tafsir of Surah Al-Fatiha before, but I feel like Surah Al-Fatiha doesn't matter like how knowledgeable you are. It's always lovely to learn about it again, just because it's the one that we are always reciting. And this is the notebook that I've been using. It's really kind of a school notebook in the sense that you can have different sections, and I will be making different sections for my ilm sessions as well. So I'll be doing tafsir and then also kind of hadith, or I'm not really sure yet of all the sections I'll have, but definitely tafsir and hadith. This is the bag I'm taking with me. It's just a basic black bag, and I kind of put this little bow on it. It is with this Indonesian print. This was stuck to another like paper bag that I bought in Indonesia, and I just cut it off and put it on this bag because I think it's very cute. I just love the batik print so much, and I want to have that kind of print everywhere. So I'm starting with the batik pattern on the bag, and I do have some other pieces that I have to hang inside of my home that have the batik print on it as well. So inshallah I can put those up as well as soon as possible. I just got some pots for in the washing machine because I want to wash the khimars that I got as soon as possible because they are so pretty and I cannot wait to wear them. Let me show you what I got. Today has just been such a lovely and amazing day, but a large part of that as well is just because I've been just very much in the moment and kind of having this constant Alhamdulillah mindset because there is so much to be grateful for, of course. And when you are in that state of constant Alhamdulillah, you just kind of smile all the time. And you know, even if you are smiling, even though you're not necessarily that happy, you automatically, I think your body kind of assumes that you're happy and you get those happy feelings as well. So truly to have that Alhamdulillah mindset and combine it with smiling, which is sunnah, you automatically make your days more beautiful and in a way also romanticize your days as well. On the way home, I was on my phone and I saw a quote that I think is very much applicable to what you and I are doing. So what if instead of thinking about solving your whole life, you just think about adding good things one at a time? And just let your pile of good things grow. The reason why I love this quote so much is because it really emphasizes how we shouldn't necessarily focus on changing our entire lives and, I don't know, doing the work and coming back unrecognizable. I've probably used those phrases in the past before, or maybe will do in the future, just because it's something that we see coming back all the time, like how to change your life in X amount of time, how to reset your life. It's always about your entire life. And this quote is kind of that reminder that it doesn't have to be your entire life. Why don't we just kind of start with adding good habits, good things to do, things that make us happy throughout the day, things that keep us consistent throughout the day. And it doesn't have to be life-changing, but of course, if you add on and add on and add on, at the end of your life, it was life-changing. But at the moment, it was not a very sudden change of your entire life. And I feel like this makes a lot of sense because changing your entire life, I don't know, for some, of course, it could probably be nice or something. But for me, I think that would be so overwhelming and not even like that necessary because a lot of things are going well. And for you as well, probably, I'm sure there are things in your life that are going well enough that you don't need to change your entire life. It would just be beautiful to keep adding on to the already good things that you do have. So part of the journey of growing into the person who you would love to be is kind of realizing that there are already so many things about you that are beautiful, that you're doing well, and kind of like being grateful for that as well. Like, look at you, look at where you already are. You're already doing so well, and just the urge that you have inside of you to become better is something beautiful. And yes, you should act on it, but you don't have to change your entire life. Let's just slowly add on more beautiful things, more beautiful habits from the Quran or from the Sunnah into our lives. And that is the journey.